the other thing I remember about it was the fact that I lived in that area meant that we were in the center of the 12th of July celebrations, which started at the top of Carlisle Circus. The bands massed at the top of Carlisle Circus and then went all the way down to Fenny Field, where they were lectured by the Unionist Party on getting rid of the mix pretty well.
We weren't thinking about kicking a pope or anything like this. I mean, we weren't thinking along those lines of getting out there to demonstrate against the Catholic people or against other Irish people. We weren't thinking about this at all. We were just thinking, I hope my feet last out and I hope my dad doesn't take all the money off me when I get home.
We were not allowed to go to school, and we used to sit in the top windows of the house and look down at this wonderful sight of these men parading, which I found very exciting, the bands, the noise, and the drums and all the rest of it. But on that day, the only day in the year in which this Catholic church was closed, St. Patrick's was closed.
And the only thing that the Catholics saw, was the bands marching past his street, the police at the corner, and by the way, there were police specials around in those days too, keeping you back in whilst this band passed. And then they saw on the television that night, or the radio, or they read the next morning about some blood and thunder speech being made. They didn't see this as a great sort of day out, or great jollification or anything. They saw the whole thing as being highly political. All the ingredients are there for disaffection. We've been trying to grapple with this problem for, as I say, over 400 years. Whether we will ever be successful in coming to a conclusion acceptable to everyone, it's rather doubtful. But I hope that within my lifetime we do.
It's safer to go to Belfast than it is to stay in New York, because in New York, right now, there are 6 people murdered every day. So you can choose New York or Belfast.
I think I'd be nostalgic, Sam. I'd see the funny side, I'd see the nice side of people. I'd say, well, here you are, I'm back in my hometown, I've done well, I've made a name for myself, but don't ask me to come back. Yeah. I won't ever be back, I won't ever live here again in the city of Belfast. And I think that's the one, I don't think I've ever said it before, and I don't think I'll ever say it again.
Saddest thing I remember about it was that I went overseas in the war, and I came back to Belfast just after the war. And I thought, all that's over. Everything is going to be wonderful now because everybody's been overseas in the war and people know it's all changed and this whole religious bigotry and separatism is going to be over. And it was actually terribly disappointing that none of that happened.
Yeah. This place that was once Protestant is now a part of St. Patrick's Parish. The Catholics here are having it hard. But the Protestants across that road are having it hard too. That's the way it was 50 years ago. And that's the way it is today. When you take away the flags and the emblems, they're both together, sharing nothing, because there's nothing there to share.